Hey guys, welcome to BP the Bible Perspective. Do you know God's heart enough to ask, is he judging America? Now, before we get into it, please like and share this video and subscribe to BP the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a thought or comment, add it to the comment section below. All comments are welcome. You know, with all of the natural disasters hitting America, destroying America, you know, the fires, the hurricanes, and the floods, and of course, COVID-19, there are those who are assuming and they're making the claim that God is judging America. When I hear that, I have to wonder, do you know God's heart? Now, some of the claims or reasons why they feel God is judging America would be, one, gay marriage. Now, gay marriage is kind of a leftover from the old Christian right political platform started back in the 60s. I'll kind of get back to that in a moment. But believe it or not, one of the more recent ones that I've heard was that a Christian minister actually said that God removed Trump from being re-elected to his second term, you know, removing this great leader in order to judge America, to let the new president ruin America. Yes, people actually saying that. And so, again, the problem is, do we know God's heart? Now, these proclamations of God judging America has been around for at least 50 years. In other words, people have been assessing America and what they think is sin, and they're saying that God is about to judge America. Look at this statement right here. I'm going to read the statement here. This statement was actually attributed to Dr. Billy Graham, the late Dr. Billy Graham. The statement actually was uttered by his wife, who, having read his book in 1965, made this cry. She said, if God doesn't soon bring judgment upon America, he'll have to go back and apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, besides the arrogance of that statement, one of the reasons why she was saying that is because, again, during this time, they saw America changing. And they saw what they thought at the time the rising sins. Now, one of those sins, I just mentioned the rise of homosexuality. But back then, you had things such as pornography, taking God out of schools, drinking. These are some of the things that they were saying that because America is doing these things, these great sins, that God, they are incurring God's wrath, and that God is going to destroy America. The problem with when Christians make these kind of proclamations is that they become hypocritical. So, for example, one of the sins that this statement doesn't include is the racism that was going on during that time when she made this statement. In other words, she wasn't talking about the racism. She was talking about homosexuality and pornography and prayer being taken out of schools. You know, those kinds of sins, but not racism. But beyond that, people exhibit to me a just fundamental lack of understanding God's heart. Let me read something here. This is in Genesis chapter 6. And this is how God viewed sin, to the point he was fed up that he was pronouncing that he is going to bring the flood upon the earth. Look at this. He said, when the Lord saw that man's wickedness was widespread on the earth, and that every scheme his mind thought of was nothing but evil all the time, the Lord regretted that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. And the Lord said, I will wipe off from the face of the earth mankind, whom I've created, together with the animals, creatures that crawl, and birds of the sky. For I regret that I have made them. You see, that is what God meant by his being fed up with sin. And you know, when you compare America, and let me just say, yeah, I do believe we're certainly heading down a very sinful way, and yes, judgment is coming, but we forget the heart of God. But why did God send Jesus? What did he think about today? And I think this is what we're missing. Besides the hypocrisy that some people think that God thinks like a Republican or a conservative. Let me read something else. This is God's heart here. This is what God, you can say God thinks. Now, it said, now it came to pass, when the time had come for him to be received up, this is talking about Jesus, that he steadfastly set his face to go to Jerusalem, and he sent messengers before his face. And as they went, they entered a village of Samaritans to prepare for him. But they did not receive him because his face was set for the journey to Jerusalem. And when his disciples, James and John, saw this, they said, Lord, do you want us to command fire to come down from heaven and to consume them just as Elijah did? But he turned and rebuked them and said, you do not know what manner of spirit you are. For the Son of Man didn't come to destroy men's lives, but to save them. This is what we miss in God's heart. Let me also say this. If you go back to that verse, remember the reason why God was fed up in Noah's day. And by the way, Jesus said when he returned, it would be like in the days of Noah. Well, how was it in the days of Noah? That every man's heart and mind was evil and continually all the time. America is nowhere near that. You know why? How many Christians are here? Everybody is not evil all the time. Yes, there are some people that is evil all the time, but America is nowhere near that. And besides that, remember what he's saying right here. You don't know what manner of spirit you are if your only conclusion is pronouncing judgment. He says the Son of Man did not come to destroy man's life, but to what? Save them. That's the heart of God. That's the heart of God. So, here is my thing. Stop speaking for God unless you know his heart. All right, God, that's my perspective. Love to hear what you think. What are your thoughts? And don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to BP, the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a thought or comment, add it to the comment section below. All comments are welcome. Till next time, I'll see you then.